Please drink responsibly.
All Ontario final here in men's 10-pin. Carey Bock from Sault Ste. Marie. Pat Desjardins from St. Catharines. And it is Bock with the early lead as we play for $300 a frame. He has the first two as Desjardins opened with a couple of nines. Bock, who believes in the red and the black, a little superstitious, says that's what Tiger Woods always wears on Sunday.
Well, he can get strikes like that. He can bowl Sunday, Monday, or any day that ends in a Y and still put up quite a display. Watch the action, the power, the challenge to the pins or stand up, and the 7-pin doesn't accept. It went down. Now here's a man that has to get his head into the game. He's just a little bit off. 2 consecutive splits. I'm surprised if he gets a third one that he switches the foot.
Oh, he crossed over 2 but didn't get the break, and so that's 3 straight frames now to Carey Bock and a quick $900 lead.
He has done well. He's been averaging 210. He's won $2,450 so far. That'll relax him.
Yeah, it'll help him a little bit. Gets the spare, gets some pin count going, but he's down 3 frames and very quickly to Carey Bock. Both these bowlers having gone to the United States on scholarships. Bock to Saginaw Valley in Michigan, and Desjardins to West Texas State University.
Now he's trying to get his composure back. He's actually moved over a little bit further than he was before, and he's coming out on a different angle. But he got away with it.
Boy, did he ever. Did he ever.
Now he stands way over on the left-hand side. This time around, he rifles it, really pulls on the bowling ball. And he tugged it enough that it got over to the left-hand side. Look at that. 2 pins go over and take out the 10-pin. Now, this is why people like him don't want to watch. That was not a good hit, but the results was the great.
And matches hit Carey Bock. And so we'll have a carryover and play for $600 in the 5th.
Watch the difference. He's in there and all the way through, put a little extra into it. The ball has the speed that carried right straight through, no question in the world. He has 3 in a row, 50 in the 2nd frame. And as we are going in, as he's taking a moment to get his thinking back into it, you can see him talking to himself, maybe giving himself a little message. This is the ball he wants to see.
No, it isn't.
3, 6, 10. This could be a problem shot for somebody like him. Now he's just using the harder ball, so with any luck he'll hit. That black spot is the insert that he did when he re-drilled the bowling ball. The rest of it,
weight?
Yes, no, it doesn't give him the weight. It just means that he wanted to adjust where he had the thumb hole. And there's the problem. You line it up, and he leaves an opening for Pat Desjardins.
And that just kills his pin count as he sits at 105 through 5. That puts the brakes on it, and a great opportunity now for Desjardins, who, as you can see, had the 2 opens to quickly pick up a couple of frames and get himself right back into it.
Well, he was, because the last ball he bowled was a beautiful shot. He got lucky with it, but it was still a good shot.
Oh, goodness.
You know, here we go. They're fishing around a little bit out there. All of a sudden, the shorts start tightening up and the balls start getting a little bit heavier, and everything just gets a little touchy. Now, you saw him go for a spare on the last split. If he shoots the same kind of a ball this time, he'll make this shot. We haven't had a TV shot in this series.
He needs to beat a 9. Is it coming over? Will it come off the back? No. So he counts only an 8. And can you believe it, a 9? An open frame will give Carey Bock the 2 frames and the $600, and he is pitching the shutout right now. Amazing. He is at $1,500 through 5, and now it's up to Pat Desjardins. He needs to win everything else. He needs to win all the money and needs to get his pin count back, because
he has to basically strike out.
Absolutely. Carey Bock is just a split away from winning it. And he'll leave up the 10.
He's down about 41 points actually, and if he had got that strike, it would have helped him. But he ends up leaving the 10 pin. Not too happy with himself at the moment, but he had more speed on that one, had a better chance. This is not indicative of what we've been seeing. We've been seeing excellent bowling all the way through, and both men are struggling just a little bit here. Carey has just had the one open, so we'll see what happens with him.
Spare for Desjardins, but Carey Bock now with the chance to close out in a quick 6 frames if he can strike here. Carey, you passed us a note to suggest that loves the city of Calgary. Last time he was here was 1991, and he won the National Youth Darts Championship, and then he represented Canada at the World Youth Championships in darts in England. Has he got the strike? No!
So we have another carryover.
And it means that Pat Desjardins is still alive.
Well, you know, for television people, that's wonderful. For Carey, he would rather have seen it all over. Now, he has to be careful.
And he's on the line.
He did not go over it. He got, you know, he wanted that so bad. He put so much speed into it that he lost his balance on it. Fortunately, he didn't. He pulled himself into it instead of out of it. Well, we're seeing a little bit of everything. Watch this one here. He just pulls himself right out of it. The foul line. Yeah, he went over the foul. He did indeed. It's game over on that one. He'll be shooting now for a dead ball. Trying to get a spare.
So the count is 9 then for Carey on the dead ball. And he'll come right back with a strike. And the frame, though, goes to Pat Desjardins. Let's bookkeep first. So he picks up his first money and his first $300. That's in 6. And now it's up to Desjardins. He must strike here to force the carryover.
Is it not ironical that in the women's match we saw a game lost with a foul after 7 in a row, and here we have a situation where a foul really came into play.
Needs a strike. Desjardins needs a strike and has it.
Well, this is a strange game. This is a great ball, but what a strange finale. And it's not over, folks. We can show you some other things. Look at the dancing pins. 2 9 counts, a foul, and he made a tremendous comeback with a spare shot.
So now Desjardins, as we carry over, we're playing for $600. Same situation for him. Needs to either win the frame or carry it over. Back to back for Desjardins. And will we look back at those 2 opens and the foul on Carey Bock when it's all said and done?
114 to 104, however, with a double up, it makes a big difference. 30 pins apart.
And now it's up to Bock. With 2 frames at stake, needs a strike. Stays away from the line. Has he got the strike? No, he doesn't. 2 more go to Desjardins. And he's closing in. But still in a must-win situation as he trails by 2 frames.
But I like the opportunity he has because he has a double up there. If he doesn't have those 2 strikes, he's run out of room. Now he's talking to himself. 134, he's not out of it. Keep your head into the game. 134 in the 7th to spear up in the 8th. Desjardins can end up getting another strike here. It would really tighten things up. That's about
a little high, and oh goodness.
The big 4, and he just says to himself, 16, 150. Real ball, a good ball, right straight through the nose. He was commenting, so he'll get 158. And this just wide open for his opponent to get a stranglehold on this one. What a reversal of fortunes after the first 4 frames.
So now any kind of mark, beat the 8 really for Desjardins, and that'll give him another frame, and then the game will come down to the final frame. We wouldn't have thought that after 5, after Bock had won the first 5 frames.
The best thing for Bock is if this man here doesn't get a strike. On the other hand, he wants a strike to make it real.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So now, how big is that 8 count by Bock?
He needs a 1 pin. Boy, I'll tell you what, 138, that is the determining game ball right there. Watch it now. He'll go for the left-hand side of the left pin.
Okay. Oh no!
Oh really?
Oh, come on!
That is a shot you don't want. That was a goofy shot, to be quite honest with you. He forgot about it.
Oh.
He was on a strike. He loses the pins on the lane, one at least. He'd have had 131 in the 8th instead of 130. He'd have had 140 in the 9th. Just rushed himself a little. He knew he missed.
Oh, so now.
What a difference. He needed just the 1 pin.
Game's on the line, and he'll get a strike.
Now, whatever he does, Carey has to match up.
I don't.
You know, it's easy to say, you've got all the scores in here, but we need, we've said it before, that a determining thing here would be a split. And unfortunately, that's what it's come down to. If Carey gets a spare or a strike, he needs at least a left.
Another one? Oh, no.
It's incidental at this stage of the game. He has an 8 count up there. He needs 1 pin to force the issue here. There's where it comes into play, that strike. And he missed the 1 pin there. Not only did he lose the frame, but he loses a couple of extra points.
And he'll get 1.
157 is his total. The game is
done.
The game is over, folks. Because of that situation, it's a tough break for that man who has bowled so well. And a couple of splits. The score isn't indicative of the game by any stretch.
No.
It's the splits that determine it.
And Carey Bock now is playing for the money. He'll leave the 10. Look to spare it. And then look to strike to take the final 2 frames. But he is the champion from Sault Ste. Marie, Carey Bock, in his first appearance in a game in which we've seen it all.
Now he needs a 9 count or a spare, and that'll certainly wrap it up, and he'll split her up here.
Strike will give him the $600.
Shaking his head because he just can't believe his good fortune. He knows he's been lucky on this game, and he got lucky against Jung and has done the same thing.
And they'll split it.
You bet.
They'll split the final frame. But congratulations to Carey Bock. He'll win $1,800 in this final game. And he is the Pins Game 10-pin champion. Carey Bock is our champion.